Elliot Ackerman is Chief Operating Officer for Americans Elect 2012. Good morning.
Morning, great to be here.
What is Americans Elect?
The mission of Americans Elect is we'll be holding the first ever nonpartisan online primary for the presidency in 2012. Any registered voter in the United States can be a delegate to the convention we're going to hold, and the ticket that comes out of the convention is going to be on the ballot in all 50 states.
So you don't actually have a candidate in mind, and you're not really a third party?
We're not really a third party. We're a second way to nominate a president. Americans Elect will go to americanselect.org, get involved, and we are a tool that allows everyday Americans to put the best Americans forward by creating draft movements for them.
And so, what is the goal of this? So oftentimes people are interested in a particular candidate or personality they want to see come in office who's outside of the party system. But if you are removing at this point the name of someone, if it's more of a movement of purpose, what's the point of it?
I think the point of this is most Americans that we see feel disenfranchised by the two major parties. We have the Republican Party, which is out at the far right of our country, the Democratic Party, which is out at the far left, and we have this huge disenfranchised number of Americans, 44% and growing in many cases, that don't feel like they have any voice. Americans Elect is a vehicle to give them a voice by allowing them to put a ticket on the ballot in 2012. So what we're seeing here really is we say we're not a third party is because this is a real political innovation that's occurring. This is the first time that 50-state ballot access is going to be achieved for a ticket to be named by the American people. That's never happened.
You want to join the conversation about a third-party presidential bid? Here are the numbers to call. Democrats, 202-737-0001. Republicans, 202-737-0002. And independent callers, 202-628-0205. Our guest is Elliot Ackerman with Americans Elect. Who is Peter Ackerman? And how much money is he contributing?
Peter Ackerman is one of the individuals who came to this effort early on, and he, like many others, provided the seed money to do this. And so Americans Elect basically represents an effort that is 1/60th the size of the amount of funding that people are going to be spending in the two major parties for their campaigns. But to be clear, all of the funding for Americans Elect, we don't take any money from special interest groups, PACs, trade organizations. And in addition to that, all of it goes to surmounting ballot access. Ballot access is a huge barrier to entry into our political system.
How hard is it to get on the ballot?
You need 3 million signatures nationwide to do that. Of those 3 million, we've already collected nearly 2 million nationwide. So there's a huge appetite for this. Last month, we submitted 1.6 million signatures in the state of California, which makes that signature gathering initiative the largest one in the history of our country.
Why do you think Americans would be looking for another choice? I mean, do you see that this could be a year that could happen?
Absolutely. We've got what is clearly a dysfunctional political system going on right now with what's occurring in the country. You have the president himself announcing from the Oval Office that our politics is dysfunctional. It shows that we need to do something to get our politics back on track. And Americans Elect is an effort to do that. The genius of our country and the genius of our founding fathers is the last self-correcting mechanism that exists when our politics gets to this space is the American people. Americans Elect is a tool to do that. At Americans Elect, we're taking what have traditionally been the functions of the parties, and we're making them the functions of our delegates to Americans Elect, using the internet and social media as a platform to level the political space and give everybody more of a voice. What's going on in Americans Elect is we're not trying to form another party which has special interests and patronage. We are trying to form a better way to put forward the best Democrats, Republicans, and independents. Let's give every American more of a voice in how we select our leaders, and let's leverage our newest technologies to get us back to some of those oldest values. Well, I think to your point, it's not surprising the political class inside the Beltway look at this with some skepticism because they've never seen it before. We call that pattern recognition. The fact of the matter is, if you look at larger trends, larger than political trends, is we've seen that the internet, social media, the tools we have at our disposal have flattened every other sphere of our life. The only place where Americans are forced to choose between brand A and brand B is in our politics. And ultimately, that's not going to withstand the test of time. Americans Elect is an important first step to give the American people more voice by allowing them to have a really meaningful say in directly nominating a president. So the barriers to entry here have been removed. Ballot access is going to be taken care of. A method for people to communicate is taken care of through this website. All we need is folks to come to americanselect.org, get organized, and participate so we can have a third choice in 2012.